Howdy. My name is Cloudy. Go back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't check out my last video, make sure you checking out my past videos. You know what I'm saying? Your boy's not gonna stop it. When y'all graduate, when summer hit, bro, it's only gonna be more videos. And now that y'all see I'm doing the green screens a little bit quicker with the editing and all that stuff, so hopefully it'll help me put out videos a little bit more quicker as well. You know what I'm saying? But today, we got a video from Everything Always. Disney Plus is officially broke. Marvel Studios future. Bro, I never thought I would ever see the word.
You know, as has been the case for the last 6 or 7 years I've been doing this, if the rumor mill is correct, they're usually several months ahead of the mainstream media. That's why at the beginning of the year, some of the stories we were beginning to hear about Marvel Studios putting projects on hold or canceling them outright, especially as it pertains to Disney Plus, didn't have the context we have now and in just the last 2 weeks. From multiple credible sources, including the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, Disney Plus is absolutely broke, and it's hard not to ascribe.
Actually, not gonna lie, it might be just due to all the damn well, damn. I don't want to just blame Marvel either, you know what I'm saying? Because Marvel my dog, you feel me? But, bro, it might just be because they be making so many damn TV shows and they don't go nowhere with it. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. You can't just do 1 or 2 seasons and be like, all right, we done. You feel? I really feel like them putting out so many TV shows really did hurt them, though. It really did hurt Marvel. It hurt Disney as well. The same thing with the Star Wars stuff, bro. I honestly feel like they should have never put out the Acolyte, bro. And if they were gonna do, bro, they could have wrote it better. There was nobody like Anakin before Anakin, bro. All of a sudden, there was 2 of them.
$4 billion loss, as Bob Iger confirmed it, to its 2 biggest franchises where they've spent the most money in Star Wars and specifically Marvel. Today we're going to talk about.
I don't watch these videos before I watch the video, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I knew Disney was going to start falling off a tad bit when Acolyte. Bro, y'all hear that? Y'all probably don't. I have my window low. Point is, bro, I knew when Disney started getting a lot of like hate for the last 2 Star Wars movies and some of the Marvel stuff. I knew, I was like, yeah, this is not gonna go too well for Disney, bro, because these are 2 franchises that people really love, bro, and Disney own rights to both. And they messed them up, bro. Let's be honest, bro. They messed them up,
those exact numbers, what's been revealed in the last 2 weeks, how Disney Plus ended up going broke on these projects, and what it means, of course, for the future of Marvel Studios in the MCU, because it certainly won't look anything like it has for the last 4 or 5 years. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could hit the subscribe button. Thanks to everyone who's been helping grow the channel lately, and if you haven't already, I just kindly invite you to do so. It's the #1 thing you can do to help support us as content creators, plus it'll enter you for the Fantastic Four ticket giveaway. We'll announce a brand new winner at the end of this video. Okay.
With Geico, we can easily...
Okay, so this story really starts 2 weeks ago when Disney CEO Bob Iger admitted that Disney lost $4 billion in streaming and putting projects on Disney Plus. These huge budgets for TV shows like Andor and Secret Invasion, both of which went north of $250 million, simply didn't make any money, drive any subscriptions, or mean anything for the bottom line of Marvel, which means pretty much wholesale, they were losses. Not only that, the critical...
Not gonna lie, bro, let's be real. A lot of people are getting these Disney Plus accounts and they sharing it with their friends and stuff, bro. Let's be real, bro. I'm not trying to be the guy who's exposing it, bro. I'm just being honest, bro. And I'm pretty sure Disney and them knew that was going to happen. One way or another, there was going to be a loophole to where people can share the account, so the other people ain't got to pay, bro. It was going to happen one way or another, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was going to happen. They could find other ways to do it, though. They can sell some of the movies on the app. People will buy it, bro. Trust me. Y'all just got to put it at a pretty decent price. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could start, like, if it's a new movie and y'all pulling it out. This is what I think, bro. Because I'm not going to lie. Theaters are needed, but I do think some movies shouldn't come out in theaters if they want some of these apps to do good. They should sell these movies on the apps for, like, less than $20, bro. It shouldn't be. They shouldn't sell it more. It should be less than $20, But each account has to buy it. Each profile has to buy it. That could be a way for them to make money because people gonna have their own profiles on the account. You know what I mean? So that could be a way for them to make money. But I honestly do think it'll work though. You know what I'm saying? Or you can make people pay. Well, the subscription thing, you know what I'm saying? But I think you should make them pay, make us pay for some of
and fan
kind of like what Amazon
reaction
is doing.
to how bad these projects were set the franchises back. Where you had something like Daredevil, one of Marvel Studios' better offerings during this year, not even reach Nielsen's SoundScan, which is borderline absolutely unacceptable for really any TV show that you're taking seriously, let alone a Marvel Studios television show on Disney Plus. And in fact, putting Marvel Studios Disney Plus shows under a microscope as a whole, the top performing show in the last year and a half has been Agatha All Along, which reached 45 on the charts when shows like NBC's Matlock were in the top 10. Hey, no hate for Matlock, just making a point. Now, Bob Iger was quick to blame actual specifics like the lack of accountability because of the number of projects they were doing, and then took that same
point of view. Bro, I'm having that problem right now, bro. I'm like I was just saying, bro, I was thinking about watching the What If series, but then I saw it was another series on there. And I was like, damn, I forgot all about What If, bro, because I saw it was another one when I was searching for What If, bro. So I ended up watching the other one, bro. It's not my fault. Y'all put out too many TV shows, bro. Y'all usually put out movies. This is why I think they should I really think they should go into the gaming side, bro. I really feel like Disney, Marvel could make a lot of money with the gaming part, especially with all these characters, bro. It just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me that they aren't making games with all these characters.
That it diluted the brand and storytelling, to which they responded by making Marvel Studios' new plan releasing way less content. What he didn't address, however, was the permanent hit that the brand took. We're going to get to that a little bit later in this video. Now, this was recently followed up just days ago by Tony Gilroy, the guy who created Andor, talking about the series costing $650 million for the 2 seasons and 24 episodes. $650 million. Guys, that's taking a TV show that even Star Wars fans themselves barely watched and is good but means nothing for their bottom line, converts to absolutely zero subscriptions, and spending 3 times the big budget of some of these Marvel movies, and they wonder how they lost $4 billion.
What they spend the money on, bro? Did they buy real stars? Did they buy the real the stormtroopers, bro? Did they buy real stormtrooper suits and the ships and stuff? Did they really buy the real materials and build it in the studios or something, bro? How do they spend more than the Acolyte, bro? More people watch the Acolyte, I feel like, than Andor. Not gonna lie, because I feel like a lot of people were more excited to see what Acolyte was gonna be. So that is kind of crazy. Y'all spent that much. I get it, Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? But y'all should be spending that much on the movies, bro. On the episode, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should be spending that much money on those, bro. Not the shows. That much money should not be spent on the shows, bro. That much money should be spent on the movies.
This is just reckless spending. Crazy, bro. And the same can be said for Secret Invasion. If you go back and watch that series, $250 million, where did the money go? And then you look at the news we've been covering over the last 2 or 3 months at the channel. The story where Jeremy Renner in an interview admitted that Marvel Studios only offered him half of the money that they paid him for season 1, and we then got reports later in the week that behind the scenes Marvel didn't even want to make the show. Then we got reports that not only were they only going to do street level heroes, but shows like Nova, a space show, were not in the budget and were indefinitely put on hold, and that specifically Marvel would not be doing any more TV series for characters that were in the movies. Vision would have the last one with Vision Quest. Now, of course, depending on what corner of the fan base you reside, there will be those who have reasons that they think that, quote, Marvel went broke, but you can't also deny that Marvel Studios didn't show their lack of experience when it came to television shows at almost every level, very obviously starting with the corporate level and the then CEO Bob Chapek, who thought it was a good idea to make as much content as possible regardless of the quality, and the inexperience with some of the writers and filmmakers Marvel Studios chose to hire. That's where they wanted to save their money. And let me be specific about this. They have had people write versions of scripts for their multiverse movies, their TV shows, and their movies who have never penned scripts in Hollywood before. That's a fact. that also led to some of these television shows having insanely bad pacing, where maybe...
Not gonna lie, bro. It's not the worst thing ever to do that. Because when you think about it, as for us as people, Marvel just gave opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it from that scope, you know, from the good side of it. Marvel gave people opportunities. Maybe it could have just been like they probably just hired their brother and sister and shit like that. But still, these are still regular people. You know what I'm saying? People who never been in the game got to start in the game. You know what I'm saying? And they put up a couple points, but it wasn't enough to win the game. That's all. Or y'all should just, bro, when y'all get all these writers together, bro, which I'm not sure they probably do this. Y'all should have like 3 writers on runs. I say on run. That's so crazy. Y'all should have 3 writers on one script. I think it will honestly work out, bro. If y'all have 3 writers on one script, it could work out. And it'll be faster. The script will be made faster. And then everybody all 3 of them got different ideas and they could plug, bro. It could work out. But I honestly do think too, they should start working on some of the video games more, bro. They should get more into the video game side, because video games, bro, the whole organized, they making money right now, bro. Especially because Twitch streaming and all that stuff, bro. And you gotta think about it, bro. Marvel has so much content for these characters that they have. So many characters. There's so many games they can make, and then they can have the actors who play these characters. They can have them voice some of the characters in the game if they want to, or they could just hire random people on the street. You know what I'm saying? Pay them a little wage, so they ain't gotta pay them the same amount they will pay RDJ. You know what I mean? They can pay the other people a little bit of, bro. I'm over here setting up a game plan for these dudes, bro. Y'all can't tell my game plan ain't a beautiful game plan, bro. And it also gives the people, the civilians, an opportunity to jump into Marvel, do something outside of their you know what I mean? So it's a win-win for both. They get to pay us a little less than they will pay the stars, because, you know, it's our first time dipping in the game, but it's enough to, you know, get us off our feet, you know what I'm saying? But then also they get people who really be passionate about doing it because they get an opportunity. And then it also makes them look good because they giving people opportunities. And then they working on the video games when the video game stuff is, bro. They need to hire me, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Why?
Good couple of episodes out of the gate, but the show would completely fall apart. Not to mention the huge CGI gaps for shows like She-Hulk, and the absolutely lackluster storytelling that was Secret Invasion. That all added up to a bunch of diehard fans dropping out, tuning out, and not watching shows that were worth the watch, like Loki Season 2, Agatha All Along, and of course, as we just mentioned, Daredevil, which again didn't even find its way onto the charts, which to me is mind-boggling. Now look, in this case, Bob Iger's revelation, or rather admission, may be specifically for Disney Plus, but the symptoms also exist on the other side in their theatrical releases, where we've seen a decline steadily in the Marvel box office, while they're comparatively successful with the amount that they make to the rest of Hollywood in comparison to how much they cost to make and what Marvel spends on the budgeting, and then splitting half with theaters. These movies, in some cases, are barely or not even marginally successful or making any money at the box office. And so where Marvel was used to trying to hit that $1 billion mark and was still able to with Deadpool and Wolverine, let's face it, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. For some of these other movies like Captain America Brave New World or the Thunderbolts, they're not having the kind of success that they hoped, and this is going to lead to the exact same thing, where they won't be able to justify the budgets that they've been spending in the past. Now, incredibly, I'm saying this while Marvel is embarking on making Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, where they've already ponied up $150 million plus for just Robert Downey Jr., plus another $100 million to the Russos. And so really,
the amount of money they gotta pay these people, bro, I'm not gonna lie, they deserve, you know what I'm saying? They entertainers and everything, they've been doing really good. It's just when I hear these numbers, you know, nigga like me and a lot of people like y'all too, you ain't never seen those numbers, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm hearing, I'm like, bro, this is some crazy money, you know what I'm saying? But to them, it's like, bro, that's really not a lot. Like in this game, bro, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's like 5 points in the playoffs, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, I understand, you know, but it's still like, bro, that's why I'm like, them giving opportunities to people who ain't never really did it before, it does help their pockets too, because they ain't got to pay. The demand for a certain wage wouldn't be as, you know, they wouldn't be as pressured to pay that person more, because most people ain't never seen that number. So if you go a little bit lower and lower, it's still a lot of numbers people ain't seen yet. So they'll be more willing to take a little bit less. You know what I mean? I think they should start doing that more. But like I said, they can't greenlight everybody's ideas and stuff. Give them a chance, but don't greenlight everything, because it will hurt y'all if y'all do it like that. But that's why I think y'all should have, if y'all gonna do it like that, y'all should have 3 of those type of writers work together and brainstorm a bunch of conspiracies and stuff like that. And they'll make a good movie. I guarantee you, bro.
The cost of one of these movies deep before they even shoot film.
All 3 of these
so it seems a little ridiculous to talk about Marvel Studios possibly pulling back when they're about to embark on making what might be 2 of the most expensive movies of all time. We know they're on pace to actually do that, but the truth is that the Avengers titles have a certain guarantee, well, at least they used to, like Deadpool and Wolverine, where there's an expectation of $1 billion break even plus. I expect those movies both to overperform regardless of how poorly the brand has done up until now, and the real test will be to see if that can actually save Marvel, which is how they're going to justify this enormous spending. Look, you can always say that something is in service of something else. Basically, if you release Captain America Brave New World and it even comes close to breaking even at the box office, then you just say it's an investment in the Avengers brand. But if the Avengers brand themselves can't actually be profitable, then you justify that by saying, well, we'll invest, $2 billion in making Secret Wars and Doomsday because it's worth it to try to save the Avengers brand and Marvel, the Marvel Studios brand. Then you're always just kicking the can down the road for profitability. And as I've said since the beginning, if Bob Iger actually leaves Disney before he attempts to try to package this up and sell it, I would be totally surprised, because the amount of money he would stand to make from doing something like that and before he retires would be astronomical. Of course, there's only a short list of companies or conglomerates that could even buy Disney. We've talked about it before at the channel. Some of you think it's ludicrous. I think it's ludicrous as well. Still doesn't mean he won't try to do it. And that
we talk about Ludacris the rapper. The move, get out the way. We talk about, bro. Ludacris is about to buy Disney, bro. Why is this funny to me? Is Ludacris really about to buy Disney, bro?
That's the other reason.
I'm actually kind of excited for this.
Huge things like Marvel Studios, Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars with the anticipation of trying to backload the sell and cash out. But hey, you know what? Topic for a different.
This may be the last
different video. Now, what this means for Marvel Studios going forward, if they're under the Disney banner or not, but for projects, say, after Avengers Secret Wars is made into Phase 7, expect a ton less live-action content on Disney Plus. I'm thinking maybe one live-action show a year, and the rest will be animation, because it seems like they have found some success with X-Men 97. Whether or not that translates into subscriptions, not really revealed, but as far as animation, it's a lot less of a cost and investment than the live-action TV shows. And as far as the films, I would expect the budgets on those to go down as well. It's really hard to keep justifying spending $250 million on the budget for a huge movie, then to spend another $100 to $150 million in marketing to start $400 million in the hole, to turn around and say make $350 or $400 million and basically lose half of the money, and then try to write it off as an investment in a bigger brand that is Marvel Studios. Eventually, the checks stop coming. Now, obviously, it's the same as it's ever been for Marvel diehard fans. We were into comics when they were cool. We were into comics when they weren't cool. We were into the X-Men when they weren't cool. We were into the X-Men when they were cool. And if people want to crap on Marvel Studios right now because of the mistakes they've made, or the Disney banner, or whatever they want to go at, that's okay too. We're still here. We're still checking in. And that's where something like Marvel, I think, is...
Hey, look, bro, we all make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like they just got... I ain't going to just say the wrong people, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the people that's in there right now probably ain't as... This probably ain't they lane right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, they probably think about other stuff. You know, they probably thinking more about the Lilo and Stitch and, you know, all that other Disney stuff. You know, they might be more... They mind might be more in tune with that than they are with Marvel, you know? Which is why I think, bro, that's why I'm like, bro, if Ludacris buys Marvel, if it's the Ludacris I think it is, bro, if he's buying Marvel, you know what I'm saying? Just based off, I'm just saying based off who he is, you know what I'm saying? Where he's came from and stuff like that, bro. It could be a good thing. He might be a real fan of a lot of these franchises too, you know? So I don't know, bro. I'm a little scared about the whole thing because, bro, I ain't never thought about, like I said, if it really is this guy, bro. I ain't never thought of Ludacris being the head of the CEO of Disney, nigga. I ain't never thought that was gonna happen, bro. So I don't know, bro. I
But
don't know
never
how it's
out,
going.
as long as they
I don't
can
know,
course
bro. I don't
correct.
know.
And if they absolutely knock it out of the park with Doomsday and Avengers Secret
But he
Wars
might be a
with the
true
X-Men
fan
on the
of a lot of the
horizon, I think there will
franchises that
always
we
be that
own.
chance for them to use the die-hard Marvel fan base to keep the franchise alive.
Bro, is it really
Whether or
that
not it ever
ludicrous?
crosses
Oh,
over
my-
as mainstream
Bro.
as Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, well,
Is it really
that will be
ludicrous?
Marvel Studios' fight. But for now, we're all still here because we're all still Marvel fans. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below. As
But
always.
I'm still gonna talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna let them know something I think suck. You know, like Madam Web, that suck. Iron Fist to me, low key, it sucked. First quarter doing good. Second, third, fourth, got tired, fatigued. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't play the game no more, bro. It's a lot of things that they messed up on because they rushed it, and there's a lot of things that they messed up on I haven't seen yet. So I don't even know if it might honestly be good to me. Like She-Hulk, I haven't seen too much of that yet, so I might honestly like it. Hawkeye, I ain't never seen that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen. It's a couple I ain't seen yet, but it's a lot of them I have seen, and I do kind of like them. But some of them I'm like, they could be better. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know, bro. What do y'all think they should be doing to get their bread back, bro? Because there's a lot of things I feel like they can do. I just feel like the people that, you know, that's running everything, they just not on that right now. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably why they like, we finna sell it, you know, because we not really, you know, we gonna get to somebody who'll do it justice. Maybe that's what they probably thinking or whatever the case is, but it seemed like Bob Iger do want to kind of help Marvel and want to help some of the franchises before he does sell it. But who knows, bro? He might make more money selling it right now than before. Maybe he'll make more money when, maybe that's what he's doing, trying to fix it. So when he sell it, he makes more money off of it. Or maybe he'll make more money off of it right now due to some of the hype that's coming up with them, you know what I mean, with the movies and stuff like that. With all the Avengers movies about to come out, maybe he'll make more money selling it right now. So I don't know, man. It's really up to Bob Iger how this is all gonna play out. Because whoever gets control over this next is gonna be how this is gonna play out. You know what I'm saying? And bro said Ludacris. Bro wanted me, bro, so I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. Bro black just like me, bro. So I wouldn't mind seeing the black homie on Disney. So I want to see how that play out anyway. You feel me? So we'll see.